Hello, Live Love Readers. Today we're going to be doing Chapter 8, A New Lead. Dr. Purvis made copies of the flyer on the clinic's photocopier. Then Amy, Ellie, and Liz spent all day Thursday handing them out. They started with number 1 on their list of places to check, the park. Ellie taped a flyer to the notice board by the playground. Meanwhile, Amy checked the field. Liz looked over by the water fountain for pets. There was no sign of Rufus anywhere. Next on the list was the dog run. The girls handed a few flyers to the dog owners. No one had seen Rufus, but everyone said they'd look out for him. The girls headed over to the pet store on Main Street. "I walk by here with Sam sometimes," Ellie said. Sam was her family's golden retriever. He always stops and barks like crazy. Amy wasn't surprised. There were always cats in the front window. Today, there were some beautiful tabby kittens and 3 cute black and white kittens. Amy froze. There was also something else. A muddy paw print, right on the window glass. "Aha!" she said, pointing. The girls spoke to the pet store owner. They gave her a flyer. She remembered a dog that looked like Rufus. "Yesterday afternoon, I saw him out front all alone. When I went to check on him, he ran off. I haven't seen him since." Amy wrote down the info in her notebook. The girls thanked the owner and headed for the number 4 on their list, the bakery. The smell of baking bread and the cakes made Amy's mouth water. She'd bet a hungry dog could smell this place from miles away, but no one at the bakery had seen Rufus. They hung up more flyers at the grocery store, the post office, the cafe, and on every bulletin board downtown, but they didn't find another clue until— "What's that?" Ellie asked. Amy had stopped on the town square. She was bending over a piece of trash on the grass. "Good for you, Amy," said Liz. "We should all do our part to keep the earth clean." Liz and her family were really into the environment. "Want me to toss that?" "No, wait. Now what this is? Know what this is?" Amy said. She held up the piece of trash. It was an empty bag of fitter critter treats. "And look here," Amy pointed to one corner, "is chewed open." Ellie and Liz understood and nodded. "By a hungry puppy?" Ellie said. Amy wrote down the clue in her notebook. The list now took up 2 pages. There had to be something the clues could tell them. "So here's what we know," Amy said. She sat down under a shady tree. Ellie and Liz sat down next to her. "Rufus is leaving paw prints everywhere. He's been to the pet store," Ellie added, "and Liz's yard, and in front of the clinic. His prints are always muddy," said Liz, "even though it hasn't rained since Monday." "Right," said Amy. Someplace that's always wet." She held up the empty treat bag. "And where did Rufus find these?" The clues and the events of the last week swirled in Amy's mind. Then it hit her. Light bulbs went off in her head. That case of fitter critter treats her mom was looking for. The flower bed at the clinic, watered every morning. The rustling sound she'd heard from her backyard Monday night. "Of course!" Amy shouted. "I think I know where to find Rufus." She jumped up and led the girls toward the clinic. Amy had a plan. We'll be back to read Chapter 9. Toodles.